Alright, hello everyone, how are you all doing today? I myself am doing rather well, and talk about making a mountain out of a molehill. So this secret recording came out about Melania Trump, and frankly, she doesn't say anything that bad. She uses some more flower, not flowery, she uses fuck and things like that for more emphasis, and really it's not that big of a deal. She talks about how she is making the liberals upset when she wore a certain jacket. She was talking about how these kids are apparently jailed, but that they're so happy to have a nice, comfortable bed, to have food, to have a cabinet where they put their clothes in and stuff. And these liberal media sites are going crazy thinking that they've got her saying something absolutely awful. And I'm just like, wow, she's a badass for talking this way about such trivial bullshit that they keep making out. Like they were trying to like focus on her Christmas decorations and things of that nature, but she was like, who gives a fuck about the Christmas decoration? There's more important things to get to. And this CNN anchor doing the reporting is just wearing this confused smile of like, what am I supposed to do with this? And it's just hilarious all the way through because they're mundane stuff. They're obviously riling up the media, which they did get riled up. So she's just winning, honestly, this conversation. Absolutely idiotic. Now, a recording of Melania Trump captures her complaining in vulgar terms about Christmas decorations and mocking detained migrant children, which is a complete fucking lie right there at the end. She did not mock anybody. She was telling a story about how, yes, they come from crappy countries, and that they are so glad to be here, and that they've been fed stories to tell people like they're running away from gang violence so that we let them into our system and process them, which we're not just going to leave a bunch of children out in the open to be wander around aimlessly in Mexico. And how they are were praising her and everyone around because they were getting such amazing things that they were not had any access to. Absolutely idiotic. Melania Trump, the First Lady, delivered a profanity laced rant about White House Christmas decorations and mocked the plight of migrant children who were separated from their parents at the border during a 2018 conversation secretly taped by her former aide and close confidant. Once again, just a blatant lie. They aren't even trying to hide the fact, because once you listen to the recording, it is very obvious what she is saying. She is not mocking anybody. If anything, she's mocking the liberal media, and this is them getting upset that she mocked them. I'm working like my ass off at Christmas stuff. This is Trump laments to Stephanie Whitson Wolkoff, who served as a top aide and the East Wing and has just published a tell-all book, Melania and Me. Mrs. Trump continues, you know, who gives a fuck about Christmas stuff and decorations? And you can't tell me that the liberal media now cares about Christmas after trying for so many years to get people to hate it. They're just trying to rile up the conservatives who obviously love Christmas for the most part. I personally do, and they're trying to make it seem just like with the Trump calling the soldiers apparent losers. It's just a context contextless claim that has nothing to do with what they're actually saying. because once again, once you listen to the recording, it's very obvious who she's mocking, and how she feels that the migrant children have these sad stories, and that she was glad that we were actually helping them out live with a roof over their heads, with a bed to go to, and a cabinet to put their clothes into. Later in the conversation, which occurred in July 2018, the First Lady complains that President Trump and his administration were being criticized that summer for separating families in a crackdown on illegal immigration, which you have to do because, like she mentions in the recording, some of them are brought over by coyotes, some of them are human traffickers who are claiming to be their parents and who will sell them off to be sex slaves. So we have to separate them. There's no way for us to tell who are actually their parents. So keeping the kids safe is just looked down upon because Trump is doing it. I say that I'm working on Christmas planning for the Christmas, and they say, oh, what about the children? And they were separated. She used another profanity to express her frustration, asking Miss Wolkoff, where were they saying anything when Obama did that? Which we know is true. Obama had this going on beforehand. And like she says, they're complaining about this stuff, and she's just like, yeah, they can complain, but it's not a real criticism because these kids are not being treated poorly. These kids are actually grateful that they're getting all this stuff. The audio recording, which was first aired on CNN's Anderson 360 program on Thursday night, puts Mrs. Trump's frustrations on full display just weeks before her husband faces voters in his bid for another 4 years in office. And once again, it's just a non-issue, a non-story, and they're trying to make it seem as bad as possible. She said a lot of stuff. The recording goes on for 7 or so minutes, and they've only been able to take 2 or 3 things out of context and try to spin it into a bad thing, but it's so difficult for them. In a statement, Stephanie Grisham, the First Lady's chief of staff, accused Miss Wolkoff of seeking to profit by releasing the recordings as she promotes her book, which she is. Everyone has an ulterior motive. You know, this is why she recorded it and why she's releasing it now when her book's about to come out. Her only intent was secretly tape the First Lady in order to peddle herself and her salacious book, Miss Grisham said. There is no way to know if these recordings have been edited, and it's clear these clips were handpicked and presented with no context. The First Lady remained focused on her family and serving our country. And that's where the article ends. And editing aside, even if they heavily edit it to make it sound in the worst possible context, the stuff she says isn't that bad, and you can pick up what she's actually saying if you pay attention. And once again, she's not saying anything horrible. She was saying that these kids coming in have sad stories, and that she was grateful that they were getting placed in a better position in life. That these people were complaining about her doing Christmas decorations, and how she was just like, who really gives a fuck about the Christmas decorations anyways? That it just goes to show you that they have nothing now to go put up against Trump and his family. They've got nothing. They're trying to scramble for every little bit of information they can, and this woman comes out trying to get more sales on her book because that's coming out, and the election is coming down to it, and so this is the best they can do now. Because if they had actual dirt on Trump and Melania, that's what they would be peddling right now. But no, it's just a secret recording about her complaining that the media is on her ass and she's doing all this stuff, and how these things aren't as big of a problem as they keep making it out to be. So that about does it for me on this video. I thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy my commentary, go ahead and leave a like for more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe, as well as leave a comment on how I can improve my content, or your own thoughts on this recording. Go ahead and leave those down below. Otherwise, thanks you all for watching. I hope I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.